The law is meant to be equal for all people. It must be fair whether you are rich or poor, old or young. Today we will see 10 billionaires who went to prison due to committing fraud. Number 1. S. Curtis Johnson. Estimating the net worth of approximately $3 billion, Samuel Curtis Johnson is the founder of S.C. Johnson & Son Incorporated. This is a multinational private American company. Company's estimated sales were around $10 billion. In March 2011, Johnson was found guilty in Racine County Circuit Court of sexually assaulting and harassing his 12-year-old stepdaughter over 20 times in 3 years. This was sufficient to sentence him in prison for 4 decades, but his daughter refused to get medically examined, so Johnson was sentenced to 4 months in jail with Uber privileges for 60 days and was also fined $6,000 and was not forced to register as a sex offender. Number 2. Alfred Taubman. Alfred Taubman was an investor and an American businessman. He was famous for his development of Short Hills Mall, which became a huge success, and Taubman made a fortune which was around $3.1 billion. In the year 2001, Taubman conspired in the price-fixing scheme with Anthony Tennant involving the top 2 auction houses in the United States. Prosecutors alleged that sellers were bilked of as much as $400 million in commissions, although Taubman denied the charges but was sentenced to a year in prison. Taubman served 9 months in prison and was released in May 2003. Number 3. Lee Jae-yong. Lee Jae-yong is a South Korean businessman and the chairman of Samsung. People and media generally refer to him as the Crown Prince of Samsung. As of 2021, it is estimated that the net worth of Lee Jae-yong is over $11 billion. In January 2017, Lee was accused of bribery and embezzlement and perjury, and then was arrested after a brief investigation, a month in which it was proven Lee bribed then South Korean President Park Geun-hye more than $40 million to win governmental favors and concessions. Later in the year, August 2017, he was found guilty of corruption and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. After his appeal in early 2018, court suspended his 5-year prison sentence to 2.5 years, which ended in February 2018. Again, in October 2021, Lee was convicted for carrying an illegal narcotic drug named propofol and was fined $60,000. Number 4. Michael Milken. Born in the year 1946, Michael Milken is an American financier. He is well recognized for his role in the development of the market for high-yield bonds. According to Forbes, Milken has an estimated wealth of $3.7 billion. Milken was convicted for racketeering fraud in 1989 as an insider trading investigation. He pleaded guilty for multiple violations of security laws and insider trading and was fined $600 million and was sentenced to 10 years in prison and was permanently declined in the stock market by the SEC. His prison sentence was later reduced to 2 years for good behavior and cooperation in testimonies against his former colleagues. He was officially pardoned by then-President Donald Trump early in the year 2020. Number 5. Joaquin Guzman Loera. Commonly known as El Chapo, he is a Mexican drug lord, one of the most powerful drug traffickers. His cartel is responsible for almost 25% of all illegal drugs that enter the United States. Experts say that the net worth of the cartel can be more than $3 billion, which makes him one of the richest and most influential drug lords. El Chapo was convicted for illegal narcotic handling and money laundering and was sentenced to prison in Mexico a couple of times, which he escaped. Again in 2017, he was extradited and was sentenced to prison for a life sentence, an additional 30 years, and fined $12.6 billion in forfeiture. Number 6. Thomas Kwok. Thomas Kwok, born in the year 1951, is a billionaire who originated in Hong Kong, inherited Sun Hung Kai Properties, which is the largest real estate development company that, according to Forbes, has an estimated net worth of $40 billion. In 2014, Thomas Kwok was convicted for the conspiracy to conduct misconduct in public office and was sentenced to 5 years in prison and fined $500,000. Number 7. Raj Rajaratnam. Born in Sri Lanka, a hedge fund manager and founder of the Galleon Group, which is a fund management firm. According to Forbes, Rajaratnam is the 559th richest person in the world with a net worth of $1.3 billion in 2009. Raj Rajaratnam in the year 2009 was convicted of 14 counts of conspiracy and securities fraud and was found guilty in the year 2011 and was then fined $150 million and sentenced to 11 years in prison. Number 8. Mikhail Khodorkovsky. Born in the year 1963, Mikhail Khodorkovsky was the 16th richest person in the world and richest person in Russia, with a net worth of over $15 billion. He made his fortune with the Komsomol apparatus and gathered a significant amount of wealth while controlling multiple Siberian oil fields under the name Yukos. In 2003, he was arrested by Russian authorities and convicted for fraud, which was proven in May 2005, and Khodorkovsky was sentenced to prison for 9 years in 2010. He was further charged with money laundering and the sentence was extended. Number 9. Platon Lebedev. Platon Lebedev, born in the year 1956, is a Russian businessman and former CEO of Group Menatep. With a net worth of $1 billion, he is one of the most successful and rich people from Russia. Lebedev was convicted for tax evasion and money laundering by Russian courts and was imprisoned from the year 2004 to 2014. Number 10. Alan Stanford. Stanford, being the chairman of Stanford Financial Group, which had topped revenue of approximately $7 billion, made the fortune of money for Stanford. Experts claim that the share stake of Stanford in the company was around $2 billion. In the year 2009, Stanford was convicted of several fraud investigations and was found guilty under several violations of US securities and laws against massive fraud, which was estimated to be more than $7 billion, and was sentenced to a 110-year sentence in the United States penitentiary.